Good afternoon. It is April the 16th, 2018, and boy, I'm lighter a few dollars today, more than a fistful of dollars. I paid the bill to the state of Kansas and to the IRS. That is painful, especially when you see how the money is spent. That just could run my household the way the federal government does. But of course, I can't print money and have unlimited credit either, so that's the way it works. Hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have been overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. Whew. That was a mouthful, as it normally is. Okay, we did make new highs today. We have a low in the 66 area. 67, we got a high. The 87 area, so we have 20 points. Pretty slow going. You had to make it. This was the trade of the day where you had your 5 points. Everything else was 3 points. No signal here off the low. We do get a signal here. We had this, I forget if it was, we were able to work this. Yeah, this was the trade that we worked right here. And we made up the mind. We took 6 on that. No signal here, no signal there. There was a signal there that was good for 3 if you were smart enough to get out for 3. Right here's another signal, retest failure S, short at 73.75. 3 points there if you were smart enough to get out. A lot of congestion and chop right here. Our analysis showed us that the market should trade higher. And here's your move out of the middle right here at 11.52. Here's a B signal right here. And this is on 2-minute charts. If we go to 3-minute charts, you'll see that the signals are pretty far between. And the trade location is worse. So again, I believe the 2-minute time frame, and there'll be some mistakes in there with the F6 screen, can serve you well for getting the jump and getting in early. Looking at the F1 screen, higher low, higher high, find a place to buy it. And the F2 screen is probably still going to favor finding a place to buy it for a retest of 87 and or higher. So the news tomorrow starts plus 1.26 permits, 1 plus 3.1. Big number tomorrow, industrial production up 0.4, manufacturing plus 0.2. With automobiles doing their thing, it should be higher than that. And capacity utilization 78%. And after this news is out of the way, the industrial production, we have 4 Fed governors speaking tomorrow. And we don't know if it's trial balloon time or not. Kashari spoke out and said this is very similar to 2008. Have to be careful with how we manage interest rates, etc. So we still are getting, but Kashari is pretty much consistent, and be careful, don't raise interest rates quickly, etc. So that's where we find ourselves. So industrial production probably starts because that's business coming right out of the ground. So right now, based on where we are, close at 79.50, we're selling 84s to 89, sell 1. 94s to 99. A limit sell at 99.50 is our normal play, leaning against the buck. So your limit sell right there is definitely in play. Right now you'd be buying 71s to 76s, buy 1. And 61s to 66s, buy 2. looking at the note, lower high, lower low on F1, sell it. It is that simple. Most people don't believe that. Now, right here, today we have a P, and the treasuries separated from the indexes after the first hour. So the first sell is 15 to 19. Second sell is 23 to 27. On the buy side, I'll put down here 5 to 9. I like the short side of the market. And then 29 to 01 for buy 2. Looking at my favorite contract, the bond. Okay, resistance is 16 to 20, 23, 27, sell 1, 31 to 03, sell 2. The buy side, last rotate down, stopped at 8, so 4 to 8 is number 1, 29 to 01, buy 1, and 21 to 25, buy 2. Okay, gold. When you look at the inflation numbers underneath the surface, they're not as rosy as everybody says they are. So I'm guessing that the buy zone for gold is probably stepped up here, just acting that way. So higher low, higher high on F1, find a place to buy it. F2. A P, we had a 53.55 sell, and that worked out okay, so we'll try that. Last rotate up was 51, so we'll make 51.53, sell 1. Well, you got that Q high over here at 57 and this K high over here at 59, say 60, so we'll make 56.58, sell 2. On the buy side, 45.47, buy 1. 40.42, buy 2. Okay, tomorrow on crude oil, we'll have the APIs after the market closes at 4:30 Eastern. And then Wednesday, we'll have the EIA report. Right now, everyone's pretty well convinced that there is no more supply hanging over the market. It's all being used. And again, we've talked about it for probably a year now that Venezuela is their whole card, because Venezuela loses 20 or 50,000 barrels of production per month. So we have this retest of the high up here. The market is sold. We still have a seller at 67.50 to 75, which is where the seller has been. You can see that we've rejected prices above 67 and a quarter. Today we couldn't get through the buck. 66.96 held. And we did have a P put in backwards. Now it's definitely taken on the B shape. So, and certainly missed in the close. So 52 to 75, sell 1. And the buck to 25, sell 2. And I'm going to go for stops in London below 66. The low's 14. So if in London, if we don't get below 14, have to step up and buy. We're going to play for a little bit lower, 65.75, 66 even by 1, and 65 and a quarter, 65.50 by 2. I think after reading all the different articles today on today's retail sales, furniture, appliances, automobiles, long-term purchases, long-term commitments. When things get bad, people will buy an iPhone or something like that that doesn't require a commitment of 3, 5, 6 years. So I think we're seeing the first effects of the tax cut on consumer spending, and retail sales this morning were much higher than forecast. And it was for capital goods, stuff that took a while to pay off. And we've talked about that. The Trump strategy, rules and regulations first, and a tax cut coming. Tax cut kicks in, and now we're going to see if the consumer spends that tax cut, which is the American thing to do. Yes, Jeff, durable goods. So I think the second leg of tax cuts is the money is being spent. So that's what Trump needed for the economy to hang in there. Everybody thought that earnings per share would be pretty hard to touch this year, so 2018 was going to be a good year. So a black swan event or a major piece of news is what it would take to turn things around. And I think the message that Trump sent via Syria to North Korea, Iran, China, Russia, and other troublemakers around the world is that, hey, if we tell you we don't like something and we're going to do this if you keep on doing it, we're going to do this. And that's a radical change from the previous administration, and also Bush's administration found reasons to duck and not do things. So where are we right now? We're at 24.32, so 40 to 50, sell 1. We just got our number 2 sell zone out there, then 65 to 75, sell 2. On the buy side, we'll make it 15 to 25, buy 1. Pick up this area right there. And then 23.90, 124 even, buy 2. Put a great article up there from IBD talking about how rules and regulations are positively impacting everything. And one of the comments in the article is that the smaller manufacturers and businessmen had to put something out to get approval to build it 5, 10, 15 years before they could get approval, if then, and just so many projects did not get done. And Trump right now has put up a proposal. They have to have an answer within the year. And it's like he's cutting down approval and permitting on everything, construction, highways, etc., pipelines, taking it from the never-ending lawsuits, etc., that take 10, 12, 15, 20 years, and then the project dies its own quiet death. Or, let's take a look at it. We've got good laws in the books. If this project is not in our best interest, we will not approve it, but we're not going to make you wait 10, 12, 15, 20 years to get that approval or not. We're going to tell you within a year, which that in and of itself, it will just open up lots and lots of potential projects. So rules and regulations has been very, very important, and it supposedly costs our U.S. economy $2 trillion a year in meeting those rules and regulations, which is, a 10% burden on our economy. So things are looking up economically, and hopefully it'll continue to go that way, and everybody prospers and gets a little bit more cash flow. We like that. And I will see you all bright and early in the morning. You all have a great evening. I'm out of here.